talk about some Bunnings NPC then. I can see Paul's absolutely champing at the bit to get going with this.
Not a green and white jersey in sight this weekend.
We'll wait for next weekend though. Your boys are in action though, Paul, heading up to Mackie. Yeah. How are you feeling? 5.5 point favourites on the road.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm tempted to take Taranaki actually with the points. I know just before COVID interrupted the season, Wellington were up in Hamilton, and I think they're up 20-odd points at one stage. Ruben Love got injured, and then the whole game fell to pieces. I thought they lost a lot of direction when he went off the field. I see he's back playing this weekend, but in the 15 jersey, I'd really prefer to see him in the 10.
Yeah, I think especially at that level, just who's given the 10 jersey? I haven't actually seen the team.
Morgan, right, I think it is.
Okay, interesting. Tough place to go for your first start in a Lions jersey as well, like against a pretty good forward pack.
Very much so, yeah. And it's just why I'm really leaning towards the black and amber. I don't think we're giving them enough sort of credit here for the performances they've put on already this season. They beat a very good Hawke's Bay team in week 1. And they've got a very, very good side. They got more than a solid look to them, to be fair to Taranaki. They've got a bit of flair about them as well. So, yeah, if I'm going to have a bet on this game, I'm happy to take the points with Taranaki at this stage.
I'm with you, Paul. I'm with you all the way, mate.
What I know you're fired up to see some NPC action this weekend, Fisky. What game have you got circled as the main event of the round?
Oh, I love my NPC, and look, I think Paul's right. I think Taranaki getting about 5 start at home is a great bet against that Wellington side. But I'm really keen to see Canterbury tomorrow night up in Hamilton. I think they'll make a really good account of themselves up there. It's a pretty strong squad. Cam Bailey, wanted to call out to Cam on the wing. He's been doing some great stuff in the wider squad and starting on the wing. I expect him to get over for a meat pie. Naholo's back on the other wing. I think they'll score some points, and I think they're really good bettors outsiders tomorrow night in Hamilton, Canterbury. I think it's a great bet.
Go Cam Bailey.
Yeah, now despite I'm actually pretty keen on Waikato here. I think we're still getting, he was still trading on the Canterbury team of 5 or 6 years ago that won all those competitions in a row. You look at their 6 and 7 in their last 13 games now, and like the team list as a whole, it's certainly not. They used to have those sort of second and third tier All Blacks just filling out particularly the forward pack. Now, yeah, it's not certainly anywhere near as strong as that. Waikato have been really impressive so far, top of the table. So they had to go down 26 points to Wellington to overturn the 26-point deficit, but they still did that, and that was. Yeah, I'm just not sure that Canterbury really have. I don't know what it is, but maybe they've had so much change in their coaching staff as well. They seem to have lost the structure that made them so great. So yeah,
it's a bit of an upgrade this week. They've got Harmon and Princep in the back row, and like I said, Naholo's back on the wing. I think it's an upgrade from the sides they've put out in the paddock this year. I expect them to be a lot better at the breakdown.
Yeah, no, I can certainly see that. I just do think, the halves combination, some question marks over Fergus Burke. I don't know why they let Brett Cameron go and kept him, but it's a story for a different day. Richard, what's certainly not All Black halves combo in green and white. What are you looking forward to this weekend, and what's the main event for you?
Oh, it's got to be the Battle of the Bay, doesn't it?
Yep, sure does.
Sunday afternoon, Ranfurly Shield, bit of afternoon footy. I can't wait for that match. I think it'll be good. I think Bay have plenty got a very good chance.
Yeah.
It's been a fair few years since they've had it, but they've got they've had some success against Hawke's Bay. They've won, I think it's about 5 of the last 6 or 6 of the last 8 or something like that. So they've kind of dominated that meeting recently, and they've had an all right start to the season. Hawke's Bay have sort of also they've sort of just been here and there. They sort of had a game against Otago, which was pretty tight for most of the game, and then they sort of ran away with it, got some late tries at the end. But yeah, I think coming off neither teams had the most ideal prep for this game, but it might work in Bay of Plenty's favour. They've got nothing to lose. Hopefully they can throw it around, and they've been playing some exciting footy, so I'm looking forward to that match, and I will not be surprised to see a little upset there and see the Shield change hands.
Beware the mighty Magpie.
Yeah.
Are you actually from the Hawke's Bay and you just haven't told us all along, Paul? You've been, I think
I'm
the
not
number
from
one
the
fan.
Hawke's Bay, but I've seen. I believe they've looked at the season and they've targeted certain games, and they are not going to lose at home this season. They started off slowly against Taranaki away, and then they turned it on when they needed to. And I do not see them dropping a game at Fortress McLean. I know they lost last year to Bay of Plenty away again. Not this. This is different. That all their focus will be on this week. Back against them when they're away from home, but when they're at home, get on, please. This Hawke's Bay team will still be holding the Shield at the end of the season.
Oh, you heard it first.
Well, which side of the Bay are you coming down on this week, Fisky?
Oh, with Paul again here. Yeah, they're just unstoppable last year at home, and Ash Dixon's last year there. They're not going to let this slip. I think they'll win.
I'm probably leaning more towards Richard's side of things. I think we're still forgetting how big a loss for Lau Whakatava is to that team. He was their superstar. The forward pack was obviously super impressive, but he gave them that X factor. Been super impressed with Bay of Plenty. Obviously, Clayton McMillan not there this season, but a lot of the structures and everything that he put in place there has seen them go a long way. Obviously, they did well last year to get promoted. So I'm pretty keen on Bay of Plenty. I certainly think they'll be able to at least meet Hawke's Bay in the forwards, and then you look at that back line, the halves combination. You got O'Terry Blake at 10, who's one of the classier pivots going around, and Martin Cup could just be enough. I don't think Hawke's Bay have the points in them they had last season. So yeah, I'm not.
Beware the Magpie.
Yeah, there we go. I was listening to an interview on SENZ, and I think they were talking to the Hawke's Bay assistant coach, who I think is shifting to the Western Force next season. And I was very impressed with the way that they got sort of went through COVID lockdown. And I think you'll find that is a very, very tight unit that they've got there in Hawke's Bay at the moment. And I think when they are playing at McLean Park, the turbo boosters go on. So
Did you say turbos?
If this was on a neutral ground, sure, I'll give Bob a fair go. But in Hawke's Bay, I just think, as Fisky said, they're not going to let Ash Dixon down in his final season in the black and white. So I just cannot see Hawke's Bay losing at home this season. The Shield will not be moving this season.
You heard it here
Look at
first.
that.
Love it. Love it.
All right.
Gotta put a kebab on it, Paul.
Yeah, let's do that, Rishi.
I've got a few in my
This
pocket.
season
Carl
or-
knows me. Yeah.
This season or this weekend?
This weekend.
Okay, we'll put a kebab on it.
Yep. First official kebab bet of the season for the picking guy, I think. So it's
You
good to see
beauty.
that going around. Yeah, you'll probably get that off Paul sometime in 2024 if they do get up. So look forward to that, Richard. The one game we haven't touched on, probably not quite as compelling as the Battle of the Bay, but Tasman, huge favourites as they head up to Northland. 29.5 is the line currently. Northland obviously have been not super impressive the first 2 weeks, got steamrolled by Taranaki last time out, and they were equally as far off the pace in week 1 when Wellington put 50 on them at the Cape Tin. Another half century on the cards here, Paul?
It's certainly on the cards. They step up their performance when they're at home, the Taniwha, but they just don't have the cattle this season, unfortunately. And even though Tasman are without their All Blacks, the structures there they're very Canterbury-like, and they've got a fair sort of smattering of Crusaders through that team as well. I don't think it's going to be pretty for Northland, unfortunately.
Yeah, no Finlay Christie, but this we got Mitch Hunt, Leicester Fainga'anuku, Tom Marshall, Mark Talaire in the back line. Those are all like really good Super Rugby players. Quinton Strange and Pari Parkinson in the second row. It's 48 and 54. Northland have conceded the first 2 weeks, even off the lockdown. I just think Tasman will blow that out in the second half, right? Either of the other two of you expecting more of a fight from the Taniwha?
Oh, I'm giving them a little bit of hope. Obviously, they're probably not going to win the game, but 30 points is a lot of points. And there, I was watching that Taranaki game, and they were, you know, at halftime they were, I think it was 10-7, or you know, they were within, you know, not won a few points, and they unfortunately had a red card start the second half, and it all just went downhill from there. But they played all right. I mean, that first week that Wellington were sort of on another level, really. They, you know, were just throwing the ball around, and the bounce was just going their way for Wellington. So, yeah, I mean, I think it might not be too ugly for the Taniwha, but yeah, I think not going to get the win as such, are they?
I'll be on the plus too. I'm not declaring them, but I think the break wouldn't have been great for Tasman. They were in pretty good form. Might be a bit scratchy. They'll have one eye on next week, so I think they'll be happy to get away with a 20-point win or a 25-point win. I just think when you get up near 30 for a home side who are capable, I want to be on the plus there every day.